Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and WWE main event results. Spoilers. Late this week, again. Birthdays for this week. February 1st, Ronda Rousey. She was born in 1987, the year I graduated. February 2nd birthday, Teddy Hart. He was born in 1980. Brian Cage, 1984. Isla Dawn, 1994. February 3rd, birthday is Haku. He was born in 1959. February 3rd, also Marty Jannetty. He was born in 1960. Terry Von Erich, 1960. Devin Taylor, 1988. And rounding out the birthdays, February 4th, Chris Sabin. He was born in 1982. And Punishment Martinez, 1982. This is the February 4th edition of Raw results. Former NWA and World Junior Heavyweight Champion Les Thornton passed away on February 1st at the age of 84, according to PW Insider. Originally from Manchester, England, Thornton would wrestle for promotions all over the world, including All Japan Pro Wrestling, NWA, and Georgia Championship Wrestling. In the mid-1980s, he would make his way to WWE, where he would be used as undercard talent. Thornton would hold numerous titles throughout his career before retiring from wrestling in 1990. My condolences to the family and friends of Thornton. And here are some videos of his wrestling career, including a 1986 match where he teamed up with Mick Foley against British Bulldogs. And give you some of these links right there. And even the list. There's like 3 video links. Also noted, Sasha Banks missed this past weekend's WWE live events because she was reportedly not cleared for competition after her match against Ronda Rousey at Royal Rumble. On the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that Sasha is still out and not cleared for competition, as she was not cleared prior to her tag team match on this week's Raw. This likely explains why Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox attacked Banks and Bayley prior to the match, forcing Bayley to work the entire match alone while Banks was hurt in the corner. Meltzer noted that the decision to even allow Banks near ringside is rare and was likely done so they could progress the storyline and advertise all 6 teams for the women's tag team Elimination Chamber match. The extent of Banks' injury is unknown, but WWE is confident that Banks will be ready to compete at Elimination Chamber on February 17th. That will be next Sunday. WWE Champion, WOW Champion Santana Garrett defended her title against Tessa Blanchard and Jungle Girl on this week's episode of Women Wrestler. Wow, Women of Wrestling. The show aired on Access TV on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. At Access TV Fights, 2 is company, 3 is a crowd. Hashtag Triple Threat at Wild Superheroes. Set your DVR at this link. You go to that link and watch it. Actually, there's 2 links for that. Post them both. Earlier on Monday, WWE announced that WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart will be appearing at Starcade 2 during Memorial Day weekend of May 23rd through the 26th at Las Vegas. This event will take place alongside AEW Double or Nothing on May 25th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Also appearing, Sting. On Raw, Stephanie McMahon opted to suspend Becky Lynch indefinitely until she gets medical clearance for her knee before her upcoming match against Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. WWE's latest poll asked fans, should the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania be changed if Becky Lynch doesn't see a doctor? As of this writing, no, Becky should be guaranteed the title match she earned is leading The poll was 70% of the vote. And yes, over, yes, Ronda should have a healthy challenger at WrestleMania. SmackDown had a live event in Yakimaw, Washington, where stars had to deal with snowy conditions while getting to and from the show. WWE Champion Daniel Bryan and Cesaro looked to enjoy the weather, while Sheamus was stuck in gridlock traffic. After the event, WWE tweeted a video of Gallows and Anderson, the Good Brothers, Jimmy Uso, Sheamus, Shelton Benjamin, Mustafa Ali, and Rusev commenting about the conditions at this link. Seth Rollins has been dealing with a bad back lately. WWE reported just resting Rollins up, and the injury is said not to be serious enough to threaten his scheduled match against Universal Champion Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Rollins was scheduled to be at last night's Raw, but never appeared on TV. Post Wrestling reported over the weekend that he will not be working the live events for the foreseeable future and will not be getting physical on WWE TV over the next month. Despite this, WWE has him advertised for this weekend's Raw live events, and just 1 week away before they head to Louisiana as well. So, he might be appearing, but not wrestling. Updates regarding several WWE performers that were not on this weekend's live events as well. Seth Rollins is most notable and is said to be dealing with an issue that predated the angle with Brock Lesnar last Monday. He is off the live events for the time being and not expected to be used on Raw this Monday, as you will hear in the results later. I read that he was told he will only be doing promos with no physicality for the next month on TV. As Sasha Banks was not cleared after her match with Ronda Rousey last Sunday at Royal Rumble, but she is expected to be cleared for Monday's Raw and her tag match with Bayley against Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox. But stay tuned for the results. AJ Styles was dinged up recently, but should be cleared by Tuesday for the TV tapings. Becky Lynch was on at SmackDown live event on Saturday in order to sell the knee injury. The injury is all storyline, even though she is selling it by wearing a knee brace in public. The knee injury is said to be an angle that will play out on TV this week. Lynch is scheduled for a segment with Stephanie McMahon on Raw, as you will hear in the results. A big part of the storyline with Becky is that she refused to be medically evaluated on TV and is working at the live events would have contradicted that aspect. I should add that the clearances are internal estimates and subject to change if there are any complications. As you can read your ticket when you buy your tickets, card subject to change. EC3 made his in-ring main roster debut on Raw, defeating Dean Ambrose. Before the match, Ambrose had cut a promo on EC3, asking where EC1 and EC2 were. He also suspected EC3 of being a fan of the rock group Creed. While EC3 has yet to deliver a promo on Raw, he did reply to Ambrose on Twitter, writing, "For those inquiring minds, hashtag EC2 watched my debut, hashtag victory from the comfort of his leather chair, hashtag Betsy at home. And EC1 watched from the comfort of his leather chair, hashtag Bernie in heaven. Thanks for asking, Dean. Hashtag Raw, hashtag top 1%, hashtag victory after victory." The Hart Foundation is headed to the Hall of Fame. Confirmed by WWE advertising superstar Shakeup. A commercial aired during Raw in Canada for the upcoming Raw tapings in Montreal on April 15th. The promo said that the first international superstar shakeup will occur at the show. The shakeup will continue the following night on SmackDown, which will also take place in Montreal. Montreal Screwjob, okay. Hey, why don't you just do this storyline? You're fired! Yep, impersonation of Mr. Man. Also, the shakeup will continue the following night on SmackDown, which also will be taking place in Montreal. The Superstar Shakeup in 2018 took place on April 16th and 17th. The shakeup saw Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, R-Truth, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Asuka, Sheamus, and Cesaro as the top stars moved from Raw to SmackDown. Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn, Riot Squad, Natalya, Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Mojo Rawley, and Zack Ryder were among the names moved from SmackDown to Raw. WWE will be inducting the Hart Foundation. Both Bret Hart and Jimmy the Neidhart and Jimmy the Mouth of the South Hart into this year's Hall of Fame, according to PW Insider. And I heard that there's not going to be very many entrants into this year's. This year's event will take place on April 5th from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The report states that the current plan is to induct only 3 mentioned and not dangerous Danny Davis, who joined the team at WrestleMania 3. Nor will Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, or Davey Boy Smith from the 1997 New Hart Foundation be included. Both Jimmy and Bret Hart have already individually joined the WWE Hall of Fame. This will be Neidhart's first induction. Neidhart passed away at the age of 63 in August of last year. Hart and Neidhart were 2-time WWE Tag Team Champions, working together from 1985 to 1991. John Cena's latest film venture, called Playing with Fire, is set to begin filming in Vancouver, British Columbia. Cena will be playing the main role of a firefighter. According to PDM Insider, filming for the film is scheduled to end production on April 1st. Could that be an April Fool's joke? WrestleMania 35 is set to take place inside the MetLife Stadium on April 7th. Could he possibly return for WrestleMania? Wait to be seen. On Sunday night's halftime heat, Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream defeated the team of Adam Cole, NXT North American Champion Johnny Gargano, and NXT Champion Tommaso Ciampa. During the match, Cole performed the Panama Sunrise, leaping from the second rope and flipping Ricochet on his head. Impact star Petey Williams wasn't pleased with WWE changing the move name on the broadcast. He started wrestling for Impact Wrestling in 2004 and has been using the Canadian Destroyer as his finisher for a number of years, and he took to Twitter to talk about the move Cole performed and the history behind it. At Petey Williams, I don't care who does the move. Changing the name of it is the biggest disrespect. Named after the Canadian Destroyer, Doug Chevalier. Rest in peace. On Instagram, Stone Cold Austin has offered his services to perform at Super Bowl halftime show next year. The WWE Hall of Famer sung and danced to Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up," while stating if there is an opening, he should be available. And this can be found at this link. And Super Bowl LIV took place on February 2nd, 2020. Will take place on February 2nd, 2020 inside the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. The latest episode of WWE Main Event will take before Monday Night Raw in Portland, Oregon on February 4th. Lacey Evans, who did not appear on Raw, revived her Royal Rumble rivalry with Natalya, tapping out to the Queen of Hearts in the first match of the show. The second match saw No Way Jose pick up a victory over Tyler Breeze, who has now lost his last 5 TV matches. Is he going to catch up with Mike Kanellis? Or even, not Mike Kanellis, but, what's the place? If you know what I'm talking about, comment in my comment section. Raw results started off with Stephanie McMahon standing in the middle of the ring and welcoming us to Raw. Before she continued, Becky Lynch's music hits and she walked down to the ring, limping, selling a knee injury. As she hobbled up the steps, the crowd with some loud Becky chants, Stephanie introduced Lynch to the crowd and then introduced a replay of Lynch challenging Rousey during Raw last week. Stephanie tells Lynch that she's never seen anyone just smile in Ronda's face like that. Lynch asks her why wouldn't she be smiling. And the fans give her another reason. Stephanie says that no one wants to see Lynch slap Rousey's head off more than her after last year's WrestleMania. Then Stephanie points out Lynch's knee injury and asks if her knee is all right. Lynch said she's fine, but nevertheless, Stephanie shows replays from the Rumble where Lynch injured her knee, but still won. Stephanie said that that's what she does because she's all hurt, but she can't keep refusing medical attention. Lynch says she won the Rumble on one leg and she doesn't want doctors involved. Stephanie says she understands and remembers when she refused medical attention during the invasion of Raw, when she broke her face. She says that no matter what, Lynch just wanted to keep fighting. McMahon knows she will do anything to fight for this moment, but she cannot let Lynch compete in a match if she's not cleared by the WWE doctors. The crowd boos that, and Lynch started frowning to tell Stephanie that she sees what's happening here. She's the glitch in McMahon's plan, and she's not moving over for anyone. She asked Steph what she knows about struggle because she's never struggled for a dang thing in her life. Lynch then tells Stephanie that she rose up and she earned every step to WrestleMania, and there's nothing that she or a doctor can do about it. Stephanie then tells her that she did indeed earn her way, but it's a liability if she doesn't get cleared. Stephanie says that that's all she has to do is get cleared by the doctor. Unless possibly it's worse, then she's letting on. Stephanie says that she cares about Lynch, and this match is one of the biggest in the WWE. Stephanie then says everyone wants to see the match, but she can't. She has to be cleared. She begs Lynch to go see the doctor and tells her it has nothing to do with Trick. Lynch tells Stephanie that she's not taking her moment away from her. Stephanie says that if Lynch doesn't go see the doctor, she'll have to suspend her. Lynch says not to say it again, or she won't be responsible for her actions or what she does. Stephanie then says not to make her do it. Lynch refuses, and Stephanie says, as of this moment, Becky Lynch, you're suspended from WWE indefinitely. Becky then lost her cool and began attacking Seth. She nearly gets in the disarmer, but gets separated by referees, and trainers. People trying to pull her away, and she continues going after Stephanie while the crowd rallies. Stephanie escapes up the ramp, and Lynch nurses her injured knee, exits the ring, and then her music plays and she exits. Coming up next, Ronda Rousey takes on Liv Morgan. Back from a commercial, Lynch is walking through the backstage area surrounded by refs and trainers. Lynch sees Rousey and the two come up face to face. Rousey then tells Becky that she tests the limits of her professionalism every time she sees her. But she will keep her cool because she has matches at pay-per-views to sell. She asks Lynch if what she did tonight is going to help sell their pay-per-view match now that she is suspended because now she's robbed everyone of their first main event at WrestleMania. Rousey asks her what she's doing at Raw because she needs to rest up so she can get her butt beat at WrestleMania against Rousey. Rousey tells Lynch to try some Advil and calls her a bitch. And the matchup was next, Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan. First match, you got Rousey going after Liv, but Liv escaped to the outside immediately and jumped around with the Riot Squad. Liv nearly entered the ring and jumps back down to the outside. Liv comes back in, but rolls out of Rousey's grasp and taunts her. Rousey finally gets her hands on Liv and drives her down to the mat. Logan then tries to get involved on the outside, allowing Liv to capitalize on the distraction. Rousey still goes for a swing. Liv goes into a bridge, and then Rousey strikes her abdomen. Rousey continues with the multiple punches and then applies the armbar for the tap out. After the match, Rousey grabs the mic, yells about the fans booing her and the Riot Squad glaring at her. She tells someone that they need to do something about if they have a problem. She then challenges Sarah Logan, and that prompts another matchup. So we get Sarah Logan versus Ronda Rousey. Logan goes right after Rousey and tackles her into the corner turnbuckles. Logan picks her up again, but Rousey rolls through into the armbar. Riot Squad pulls her out of the ring as we go to commercial as they escape. We return from the break. Rousey has Logan in a triangle choke. Logan picks her up and slams her into the turnbuckles to escape. Logan with stomps in the middle in the corner on Rousey. Rousey with a few strikes and judo toss to gain back the advantage. She follows it up with a series of punches and then an armbar for the tap out. Rousey then poses with the title as Ruby Riott climbs on the apron. It seems like she's going to challenge Rousey, but instead she decides to exit up the ramp with the Riott Squad. Backstage, Ruby said that she didn't run away from anything. There's no doubt in her mind that she can beat Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, but the squad is hurt tonight. She said that the Riott Squad will do anything for one another, and that's something someone like Rousey, an opportunist, knows nothing about. Announcers then advertised Kurt Angle's appearance and Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship. Heavy Machinery approaches the ring for their match. We see a video clip of Tucker and Dojovic as they have dropped their last names and saying that their weights and stakes are on the name of the game. They say they're not the typical meat heads and want to use their smile to lift the WWE Universe's spirits. Lucha House Party enters on the ramp as we go to commercial. And apparently that is your next match. Back from the commercial, Sasha Banks and Bayley are talking to one another as Charlie Caruso asks the ladies if their failures will affect their match against Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross. Banks doesn't like that she used the word failure, but Bayley calms Banks down and explains that's what all that matters is that they brought Ronda to her limits in their title shots. They said it's all about tag teams tonight, and at Elimination Chamber, the Boss and Hug Connection will win and make history. Cross and Fox approach and tells the ladies that they won't be making it to the chamber, as Cross says nobody wanted to play with Cross, but the Fox embraced her. She tells Banks and Bayley that chaos is fair. Alicia adds that you don't cross the Fox. Next match, we got B-Team versus Heavy Machinery versus Lucha House Party versus The Revival. 4 corners, number 1 contenders match. Grand Metalik immediately rolls up Curtis Axel, but only gets 1 count. Axel gains the advantage with a couple of right and taunts to the crowd. Metalik off the ropes with a handspring and a kick. A drop kick off the second rope. Dorado comes in and starts cleaning house, rolling up Wilder in a Hurricane pin for a 2 count. Dorado with an arm drag and an armbar. Gable and Rude look on as Wilder switches things up and gets an armbar of his own. Knight tags in and goes after Wilder, using a couple of gut wrench slams and a front face lock headlock. Dojovic tags in and Heavy Machinery uses a tandem headbutt for a 2 count. Dojovic delivers a spinning body slam and then tosses Dash into the ropes. Knight gets a tag back in, and they begin cleaning house of all the other teams involved. Heavy Machinery dumps the B-Team out of the ring, and then the Lucha House Party comes in, using simultaneously Asai moonsaults on the B-Team on the outside. Heavy Machinery then taunts Dawson like the Bushwhackers, and then run into one another with Dawson in the center. They use another slam, tossing Dawson to the outside on everyone else. As they go to commercial, Dawson was delivering a quick elbow drop in on Metalik, and then a back suplex for a 2 count. Dawson tags in Wilder and slams Metalik's face into Wilder's knee. Metalik with a chop, but Wilder keeps control and tags in Dawson. They use a combo gutbuster for a 2 count. Dawson goes right into a sitting chin lock, but Metalik fights out. Dorado tags in, kicks Dawson in the face, and connects with a cross body off the top ropes. Hurricane run on Dawson and drop salt on Wilder, landing on Dawson for a 2 count. Dawson knees Dorado in the abdomen, but Dorado comes back and uses a double stunner on the revival. Dojovic and Bo Dallas are the legal men, but everyone starts rushing the ring and getting taken out. Otis comes in with a double shoulder tackle on the B team. He hits a big splash on Bo in the corner, and then the Caterpillar, same thing as the worm, for a 2 count. Knight delivers a suplex to Axel, and Dojovic slams Bo. Dawson tags in and tries to pin Bo for a 2 count. Wilder tags in, and they hit the Shatter Machine for the 1-2-3 on Bo. New number 1 contender is the Revival. Backstage, Zack Ryder greets Curtis Hawkins. That's what I'm talking about. All the losses, Curtis Hawkins. Tells him that eventually they'll be out there as number 1 contenders. Hawkins reminds Ryder how toxic he is with all of his losses. Ryder tells Hawkins that WWE spelled his name wrong when he entered the ring last week. He says that is history. That point is, he's a loser just like Hawkins. He says that it won't be for long because they were once the tag team champions, and they're going to end Hawkins' losing streak together. Angle is entering the arena, and superstars are greeting him as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Kurt Angle enters to his usual use up chance for the crowd. Angle grabs the microphone and tells the audience that over the past 20 years, he has accomplished everything that he has wanted to accomplish. He remembers his match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. The night he soiled the ring with milk. In his time as general manager, he brings up Jason Jordan as his son and thanks the fans for use up chance. He says his signature 3 eyes have turned into the 3Ds: doubt, defeat, and depression. He remembers his recent losses and is disappointed that this is the result after winning a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. And then Angle says the opponent he cannot defeat is Father Time. He is interrupted by Constipated Corbin, Triple C, Constipated Constable Corbin. Corbin asks Angle if he's doing this, what he's doing this for. He says he did this to himself and he should have made this speech at the Hall of Fame 2 years ago. Corbin tells him that he should have just made matches as general manager and not be in them. Corbin tells him that he's broken down in a shadow of a man. Angle says that this shadow of a man will break his ankle in 2. Well, Drew McIntyre enters on the ramp. McIntyre tells Angle that he can't help himself. He's about to accept his fate and move on. And then he says he'll break the ankle of the man that beat him last week. McIntyre says that he was a warrior, but all he saw in his match with Angle was fear right before he tapped to his own ankle lock. He says that Angle has no quit in his body, and he's going to keep showing up until somebody does something drastic. He tells Thornton to shut their mouths and get their cameras ready because it will be the last time Angle is ever in a WWE ring. Now McIntyre and Corbin surround the ring with Braun Strowman in the ring, making a charge for them. Inside the ring, Angle hits Corbin with a few rights and then sends him over the top rope. Meanwhile, Strowman sends McIntyre face first off the ring post. Strowman chases after Corbin and throws an office chair at him. McIntyre and Corbin jump into the audience and escape to the backstage area. Announcers mentioned how Angle seemed like he was going to retire, but we still don't know what he was going to say. Then we see a video celebrating Black History Month. February. Back from the commercial, they show a replay of what just happened between Strowman, Angle, McIntyre, and Corbin. As a result of what happened, Strowman and Angle will team up to face McIntyre and Corbin in a tag team match. We see a video package recapping Seth Rollins' victory in the Men's Royal Rumble match and his confrontation with the Beast last Monday on Raw. We see an image for the Universal Championship match at WrestleMania 35, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. As Bayley is entering the arena through the stage, Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox attack her and drag Sasha Banks out from the backstage area. The 2 women pummel and beat them until Bayley fights back. She tosses Cross off and then mounts Fox with multiple punches. Cross comes back and the 2 women ram Bayley into the screen on the stage. They toss Bailey down the ramp and they continue to assault on a downed Banks. The announcers are wondering if the women's tag match is still going to take place after the commercial break, which it does. Sasha Banks and Bailey versus Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox to qualify for the women's tag team title match at the Elimination Chamber. Back from the commercial, Bailey hits Cross with a clothesline out of the corner for a 2 count. Bailey rams her shoulder into Cross's abdomen in the corner and then comes charging with a running clothesline on a sitting Cross for a 2 count. They show Banks and she can barely make it up to the ring apron. Fox gets tagged in, but Bailey hits the crossbody of both women. It gets a 1 count on Fox. Bailey drops Fox face on the turnbuckles and then comes off the ropes with a spinning elbow for a 2 count. Bailey with a back suplex for yet another 2 count. Bailey drops Cross and then delivers a stunner in the ropes on Fox. Bailey strikes Cross on the outside as she gets back in the ring. Fox gets a scissors kick for a close 2 count. Fox then puts Bailey in a chin lock as we see Banks grimace on the apron. Cross tags in and they tie Bailey to the tree of woe. Cross stomps at her and then tags in Fox, who chops and stomps at Bailey. Cross then gets a half Nelson chin lock on Bailey and then she tags Fox back in the match. Bailey fights out of the tree of woe, but Cross connects with a bulldog for a 2 count. Cross kicks Bailey out of the ring and then knocks her down with a crossbody off the apron. Cross comes running after Bailey, but Banks pulls her partner out of the way, forcing Cross to collide with the ring post. Fox tags in, but Bailey rolls her up for the 1-2-3. Cross and Fox are looking irate on the outside of the ring, as we see Banks and Bailey celebrate inside the middle of the ring. We see a replay of last week with Double J and Road Dogg interrupting Elias, and they all got into a brawl. Backstage, Apollo Crews says he's surprised that Kurt Angle is competing tonight, but he's glad that he is. He says that the guy won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, so he can have a few bad matches. Rezar and Drake Maverick confront Crews and tell him that Angle doesn't stand a chance tonight. Crews asks him if he has to stick his hand up his butt to make his puppet talk like that. Rezar gets in his face, but Drake calms him down, and they exit. Road Dogg comes out to hype up the crowd as they do the classic D-Generation X introduction. He gives Jarrett a nice intro as the music hits. Then Jarrett and Road Dogg get to sing their Alone With My Baby Tonight song from years ago. Elias interrupts them and tells them that that the song they're singing is just like them. Hasn't aged well. He gives them a flurry of insults and says that he turned down the Super Bowl halftime show to come to Portland, who doesn't even have a football team. He explains that he was going to play a song for Portland, but they're not worth it. Elias tells Dogg and Jarrett that they can keep up the nostalgia act, but it doesn't change what WWE stands for. Jarrett says, "Hey Chico, don't sing it, bring it." We get Jeff Jarrett versus Elias. Bell rings and Jarrett and Elias immediately start throwing hands in the ring. Elias tries to escape to the outside, but he's cornered by Road Dogg and slides back into the ring as we go to commercial. We return back to the match. Elias is in control and ramming Jarrett into the barricade on the outside of the ring. Elias tosses Jarrett back in the ring, stomps at his face, and gives him a chop. Jarrett comes off the ropes with a kick, a right hand, a hip toss, and a clothesline. Elias then hits Jarrett with a jumping knee strike, and then tosses Jarrett and Road Dogg. Elias Irish whips Jarrett and gives him an elbow to the face for a 2 count. Elias secures a chin lock on the ground of Jarrett as the crowd rallies. Jarrett strikes at Elias' abdomen, but he gets a vertical suplex for his shovels. Jarrett kicks out at 2. Jarrett with a couple abdomen punches of his own, but Elias maintains control with punches in the jumping elbow. Jarrett comes off the ropes and gets clutched into a sleeper hold. He drops down and bounces Elias' chin off the top of his head. Elias goes over and knocks out Road Dogg on the outside of the ring. The distraction allows Jarrett to gain some momentum, and he connects with a big clothesline and his leg attack on the ropes. Jarrett then does a strut and connects with an enziguri. Road Dogg is on the apron, and he gets knocked down by Elias. Elias connects with a drift away for the 1-2-3 on Jarrett. After the match, Road Dogg comes in and strikes Elias with a signature flurry of punches. As Jarrett brings in the guitar, and Road Dogg tells Elias to suck it, as Jarrett whacks Elias in the back. Backstage, Dana Brooke tells Natalya that she's really sorry about causing them to lose a tag team match on last week's Raw. Brooke tells Natalya not to give her the silent treatment. She becomes frustrated and tells Natalya that she's going to ask Vince McMahon for a one-on-one match with her next week to prove herself. As she leaves, Natalya pulls out her earbuds and looks confused about what Dana had said. You couldn't see them. They were almost like invisible. Single earbuds. Finn Balor backstage and approaching the ring with his ribs taped up. 3 weeks from tonight will be the birthday celebration for Ric Flair in Atlanta, Georgia. As the announcers recap what happened earlier in the night with Stephanie McMahon and Becky Lynch, they remind everyone that she will be suspended until Lynch chooses to go get evaluated by a WWE doctor. Backstage, Finn Balor asks what the Irish are stubborn. Says that the Irish are stubborn when wounded. His elbow is hurt from Lesnar and his ribs are hurt from Lesnar, but he's still here to fight for the title. Balor says that he won't be held down and he's going to take the fight to Lashley just like he did to Lesnar. He says he'll be taking the Intercontinental Championship too. As Finn enters the arena, we see replays of his match with Lesnar at the Rumble and the attack by Lashley the night after. Leo Rush gets on the mic and tells Finn that he's out here looking like a mummy with his ribs taped up. Rush tells him that this is a mouse versus Mack truck. Lashley grabs the mic and says that Finn couldn't beat Lesnar, and yet he's better than Lesnar. He says that he needs to start fighting people his own size instead of a title match tonight. So he has to face Leo Rush. If he's even entertaining enough, Lashley will give him a title match if he wins. Before the match even begins, Lashley cheap shots Balor and drives him into the turnbuckles. Lashley continues to attack until he finally grabs his title and leaves the scratch for Rush. And we get the match started. The bell rings and Rush pounces with kicks and knees on a cornered Balor. Balor grabs Rush, but Rush kicks him in his injured ribs to regain control. Rush strikes on the grounded Balor. He goes for a kick, but Balor catches his leg and drops him on his back. Balor stomps Rush until he exits the ring. He then comes through the ropes with a drop kick on Rush. Balor goes for a running kick on the apron, but Lashley grabs his foot, and pulls him down. Referee ejects Lashley from ringside as he's seen what just happened. As Rush looks on in the corner, Rush climbs in the ring and then immediately goes back to the outside with a suicide dive on Balor. Back from a commercial, Leo Rush has an abdomen stretch on Balor, and he finishes it with a couple of sharp knees to Balor's ribs. Rush with a couple shoulder tackles in the corner, but Balor catches Rush with a knee. Balor with a kick to Rush from the ring apron. Balor goes for the coup de grace, but Rush knocks his feet out from under him, climbs up top with Balor. Rush delivers a hurricane off the top for a close 2 count. Rush ties Balor in another version of an abdominal stretch, but Balor twists out and puts Rush in an abdominal stretch of his own. Balor gains the advantage and connects with a sling blade. Balor tries to follow up, but gets rolled up for a 2 count. Rush keeps on the attack and then goes for the huge frog splash. Balor dodges that, gives him a drop kick into the corner turnbuckles, then scales up top and delivers a coup de grace for the 1-2-3. Lashley comes running down to the ring after the match, but Balor slides out, celebrates his victory on the ramp. We see replays from the match that just took place as Balor continues posing on the stage. Paige comes out to the stage with a microphone in hand. So, of course, she's doing her promo for her Fighting with a Family as Paige introduces another preview of the film. We come back to another segment of Moment of Bliss. Bliss introduces her guest for tonight's talk show, EC3. Man, she's just staring him down, kind of acting impressed. EC3 comes out and poses a bit before sitting down with Alexa. Alexa asks EC3 if he's ready for his moment of bliss. She says he's young, good looking, and she's heard that he has a big bank account. Bliss says that she notices that EC3 likes to play hard to get and jump between Raw and SmackDown. She asks EC3 which show he's going to choose, but before he answers, Nia Jax comes out and tells them that no one cares. Jax says that she would say she's sorry, but she's not. And nobody wants to see this nauseating blind date. Jax brings up her time in the Men's Royal Rumble match and her win with Tamina to qualify for the Women's Elimination Chamber. Jax says that this is actually her moment, not Alexa's. Jax says that the whole world is always wondering what she'll do next, so maybe she'll fill in for Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose's music hits, and out he comes on the stage. He said that he's sorry, and he doesn't really want to be out there. He says he must say something to Nia, and that is, it's obvious that she has a huge crush on him. Ambrose says that it's okay. She doesn't know how to handle his raw sexual magnetism, but he wants her nowhere near him. He asks EC3 who he is, and then knocks the microphone out of his hand. Ambrose says he's going to take over the interview, and he asks EC3 lightning round questions. Ambrose asks him why he walks around like a mute Chippendale dancer and never gets outside the ring. In response, EC3 punches him in the face. And it's to set up the next match. Impromptu match begins with EC3 tackling Ambrose and raining down some punches as Ambrose blocks. EC3 slams Ambrose's head off the turnbuckle, then he connects with a flying clothesline. Ambrose gets in a kick to the abdomen and tosses EC3 into the ring post outside. Ambrose mounts EC3 and connects with some punches of his own. Ambrose stomps away at EC3 in the corner and then drops EC3 with a short arm clothesline. Ambrose with a chin lock in the center of the ring, but EC3 gets to his feet and hits Ambrose with some punches. Ambrose off the ropes, gets hit with a back elbow and a flying forearm. EC3 with a variation of a STO. Ambrose comes back at EC3, but he pulls Ambrose into jackknife for the cover for the 1, 2, 3. And by the way, the reporter doesn't know that's the 1%er. Backstage, Angle says he was so close to retiring tonight, but now he's here to join forces with Braun Strowman and take out Corbin and McIntyre. Strowman tells Angle that's an honor that they're teaming together tonight, and McIntyre and Corbin are going to get these hands. Mojo Rawley's talking to his mirror again this week. As Rawley says, there's that everywhere he goes, everyone wants to be a part of the team. He says that those ideas never worked out for him, and now it's all about Mojo. Drew McIntyre and Constipated Corbin versus Strowman and Angle. Well, why don't they name this the World's Strongest Team? Well, you got the World's Strongest Man and Champion. You know what I mean? When they had the Angle and well, here's not a tag team. World's greatest tag team, in other words. Angle and Corbin start the match off, but Angle immediately catches Corbin when Jarvis suplexes him. McIntyre pulls him out of the ring, but Strowman comes running around the corner and tackles McIntyre. Angle with another German on Corbin as he tries following it up with an ankle lock. Corbin wiggles free, and McIntyre connects with a cheap shot on the apron to Angle. Back from a commercial. Corbin in control with a couple of right hands on Angle. Corbin locks in a half Nelson chin lock as the crowd rallies behind Angle. Corbin tags in McIntyre, and they stop away at Angle in the corner. McIntyre pulls him to the middle of the ring, connects with a hard chop. Angle reverses a few strikes, but Corbin gets tagged back in, and they team up on Angle. Corbin goes for another punch, but Angle retaliates with punches of his own. McIntyre with a blind tag. Just as Angle gains a little offense, McIntyre kicks him down to the mat. Strowman tries to get in the ring, but the referee stops him. Angle finishing up with an Angle slam is reversed as McIntyre delivers one of his own. McIntyre with an ankle lock on a down Angle. Stealing his move as Angle struggles in the middle of the ring, but the crowd rallies behind him. He's finally able to roll through and tags in Strowman. A hot Strowman tackles McIntyre. Corbin's on the apron. And then he gives another splash to McIntyre. Strowman with a clubby blow to the chest of McIntyre. He goes for the finishing running power slam, but McIntyre escapes and tags in his partner, Corbin. Corbin then slams Strowman's face against the ring post and the ring barricade. Back in the ring, McIntyre tags in and continues to attack with a chop and a neck breaker for a 1 count. Corbin is then tagged in, and they work in tandem with a double back suplex for a 2 count. Corbin tags McIntyre back in, and he stomps away on Strowman's abdomen. Another quick tag, but Strowman reverses and delivers a double vertical suplex to Corbin and McIntyre. Angle finally gets tagged in and delivers a series of German suplexes to Corbin and McIntyre. Angle goes for another on Corbin, but he gets back to the turnbuckles. Angle with Angle slam for a close 2 count on Corbin. Strowman takes out McIntyre with a shoulder tackle and then attacks Corbin. Referee rings the bell for the disqualification, says Strowman wasn't the legal man. So McIntyre and Corbin got the win. Strowman goes after his opponents on the outside of the ring. He gets a Claymore kick to the face for his trouble. They slam Angle into the ring steps and start picking their things apart. Putting the base of the steps inside the ring, they go for a double choke slam to Angle on the steps, but Strowman interferes and gives choke slams to Corbin and McIntyre on the steel steps. Angle and Strowman stand tall as the show comes to an end. There was no dark match main event in Portland. The show ended with Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman celebrating, followed by Strowman signing some autographs at ringside. Seth Rollins was advertised for the show, but never appeared in front of the crowd. As it was previously reported, Rollins is not expected to do any physical action over the next month, as he is dealing with an issue that began prior to the beatdown from Brock Lesnar last week on Monday Night Raw. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.